Hello and welcome guys to my YouTube channel Any Psychology. So today I am here again with a new and a fresh topic, and today's topic is about difference between psychologist and psychiatrist. So as we all know, in the field of psychology there is a big difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. So we are going to know about that in this video. So let's start. Both psychologists and psychiatrists are key professionals in the field of mental health and behavior, but both are not the same. So as we all know that psychology is the scientific study of human mind and behavior, so as well as all the individuals who practice psychology are known as psychologists and study how human beings think, behave and feel in different social settings. They are also experts in human behavior. On the other hand, psychiatry is a branch of medicine that deals with the treatment of any kind of mental illness and disorder, emotional disturbances, and abnormal behavior. Psychiatrists look at biological, neurological, and biochemical abnormalities to diagnose mental illness and prescribe medications to treat them. As I told before, that psychiatry is a branch of medications. So whenever a person goes to a psychiatrist, psychiatrists prescribe medication first, approaching their treatment, and once the diagnosis is done, they build a treatment course, we can say for months, and plan for the patient, focusing on managing whatever the symptoms are coming for the disorders through the use of medications. As psychiatrists use medicine to treat any kind of mental disorder, on the other hand, psychologists primarily utilize different types of therapies to manage symptoms and help their patients to cope with their mental disorders and their life problems occurring because of that disorder. So psychologists may use different forms of therapies as sessions, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, in short form CBT, which is very famous psychological therapy to treat any kind of mental disorder. Second is psychodynamic therapy, and then rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, gestalt therapy, and humanistic therapy, and there are more kind of therapies used by psychologists. Psychiatrists can prescribe medications, but psychologists cannot prescribe any kind of medications as treatment of any psychological disorder, because psychiatry is a field of medications and is considered a branch of medications. Psychiatrists are doctors of medications and are legally equipped and legally allowed to prescribe medications to any patients, to their patients, but psychologists use therapies, counseling and sessions instead of the medications to approving medications, because psychologists, however, cannot prescribe any kind of medications. They conduct psychological tests to diagnose patients and treat them throughout their therapy sessions and counselings. In many severe cases, when a psychologist finds that there is need of medicines to the patient, in these cases psychologists refer to psychiatrists to handle the case over them. Psychiatry requires a degree in medicine field, where psychology requires a UG undergraduate and PG postgraduate degree in psychology. A psychiatrist is a physician with a medical degree in psychiatry field. To be a psychiatrist, you will first have to complete your MBBS, followed by an MD in psychiatry, thus a total of 7.5 years of study. For example, 5.5 years of MBBS, then 2 years of MD degree are required. And you have to take psychiatry as your MD degree subject. And on the other hand, if you want to be a psychologist, so what you have to do, you have to pursue your bachelor's. You can pursue your bachelor's in arts, in humanities fields. It's not necessary like psychiatry to have bachelor degree in medicine. So you can take any kind of subjects, and you have to choose psychology also one of them, and you can do even honors in psychology bachelor's. You can take individually psychology, and then you have to do master degree in psychology. To practice as a clinical psychologist, if you want to be a counseling or a clinical psychologist treating mental disorders through your counseling sessions, you require an additional 2 years of study to obtain an MPhil in clinical psychology, or you can say a total of 5 to 7 years of study. 3 years of BA plus 2 years of MA in psychology, 2 years of, if you want to go for clinical psychologist, if you want to be a counseling psychologist, you can do PhD in psychology for 2 years to be that. So psychologists help people cope with life issues and mental health challenges. Whenever you visit a psychologist, they study the way you think, behave and relate to other people, also your behavior and your cognitions and your environment. So, as we have known that psychiatry and psychology both fields are very different from each other in whether in studies, whether in prescribing medicines and counselings. So let's have a quick recap about difference between them. That psychiatrists are medical doctors and are able to prescribe medicines who evaluate, diagnose and treat people living with any kind of mental health disorders or mental illness that range in severity to from mild and temporary to severe and chronic, and which are very permanent also. Psychiatrists are medical doctors. Why? Because they can prescribe medicines which a psychologist cannot. And now psychiatrists have medical degree, as I told that they have done mbbs then md in psychiatry, and which psychologists do not have any kind of medical field degree or psychiatry degree. And psychiatrists can prescribe medicine, and as we told that most psychologists and almost of the psychologists cannot prescribe any kind of medicines. So here on in the end I would like to share a chart. As you can see on the screen, this is a differentiate chart between psychiatrist versus psychologist. As you can see this, if you read it, if you learn it, and if you capture it, by capturing it you can easily differentiate the difference between a psychologist and the psychiatrist in the field of psychology. You can easily get the difference. So this was it guys. I hope you liked today's videos, and today's video was about the topic what is the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist in the field of psychology. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you found it very knowledgeable and informative. So thanks for watching my video. Bye bye.